Colts at Bears. Nick Foles starting. Colts looking pretty good at 2-1, and the Bears 3-0. You know, people were dumping on the Colts early in the year because they had that game. I don't think they punted week 1. They racked up all these yards and they lost, but they've rebounded. They beat the Vikings and then they won again last week. How do you see this game and what's the matchup you're watching?
Well, the matchup I'm looking for is Anthony Costello versus Khalil Mack. And I know Khalil Mack is not leading the team in sacks, but if you want Phillip Rivers to stay upright, then you got to keep Khalil Mack off of you. Akeem Hicks, they got playmakers across the board and they can get after it. Phillip Rivers is one of those guys that just plugs along. He'll make a couple bad throws and a couple error throws and throw some interceptions, but he's a good leader. He's a feisty guy, and he's brought some fight to this offense. And I like him, but I think that matchup is going to be critical. You got to keep Phillip clean, and if you can keep him clean, this defense is a good defense now. It's not a lot of big names on it. Talking about the Indianapolis Colts defense. There's not a lot of big names. But they're the number 1 scoring defense, only giving up 15 points in the first 3 weeks. Number 1 passing defense, only giving up 132 yards. They're the number 1 total defense in the National Football League in the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of their numbers right now. Kenny Moore's been playing really good, defensive back, and they've kind of got a sack by committee approach, which is working for them. They've got 9 sacks through 3 games. That's good. That's 48 sacks in a season. You'll take that. That definitely helps your secondary. Want to give Phillip Rivers some credit here. He got piled on after the first week. He threw an interception at the end of the game. One of the things about Phillip Rivers, and I'm not debating that he's, had mistakes at the end of games, but when you're constantly having to keep your team in the game, you have to take chances down the field. The more you take chances down the field, you're going to get picked off sometime. If Phillip Rivers isn't a Hall of Fame player, he's a Hall of very, very good player, and I'm happy to see him playing pretty well. Do you feel like the game has passed him by, or do you think he's still a very viable quarterback?
No, I think he's very viable. As long as they keep their running game going, he doesn't have to throw the ball 49 times in a game, then Phillip Rivers is going to play really good football. He can't be the guy that throws, 35, 40 times in a game. He could do it at one point. I just don't think he can do it now. And if he throws the ball 25, maybe 30 max, and they can still run the football, then this is going to be a solid football team. And it's going to be a hard out because they are very disciplined.
Key number I'm looking at in this one are Foles' giveaways. He's been a great long reliever, Rod, but sometimes when he's been made the starter, he hasn't always performed. Putting the 2017 run aside, the line on this game, the Bears are 2-point underdogs. I've got the over-under at 45. Of course, that's subject to change. I don't touch the over-under. Nick Foles you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know how many points they're going to put up. But I like the Bears and the points in this game. I think the Bears could win the game outright. So the fact that they're 2-point underdogs, I don't love this game from a gambling scenario, but if I were going to bet, I'd take the Bears and the points. Who do you have winning this game, just outright?
I got the Colts. I got the Colts winning 23-17.
Doggone it. Well, but I just said, honestly, if I had to put my money down, I probably wouldn't put it down on this game. But if you're saying, hey, I've got to bet on this game, I say avoid the over-under and I go Bears and the points. We hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like. You can comment below and subscribe. Are you in?